Today's market, whoever dominates online is usually the business that wins offline. That's why it's so important to understand how much traffic you're getting to your website compared to how much traffic your competitors are getting to their websites. Find how your competition compares to you in terms of how much traffic they get to your website. Well, it might not be what you think. So it's not going to websites like SERPsat or SimilarWeb or Moz or Ubersuggest. These tools are all helpful for certain aspects of SEO, but in terms of how accurate they are in estimating traffic and how your website would compare to your competitors in terms of traffic, we've found that they're usually grossly inaccurate. Recently, we looked at one of our clients, and the number that was listed in these tools was about 5 times off the actual data. These tools are very useful for estimating other things or using the tools that are provided in them for other components, but generally the traffic estimation is not that great. The number one tool we use to determine how a website's traffic compares to its competition is by using a cool tool called Alexa. And if you type into any search engine, Alexa site info, it will bring up a link that will take you there. Alexa is a company that is owned by Amazon, and what it does is it ranks all of the websites on the internet in terms of where they rank for the amount of traffic that they get. So you can think of it as almost running a race. So when running a race, finishing first would be best because it means you have the best time. With Alexa, if you are ranked first, it would mean you have the most traffic online. So again, a lower number is better. So if your competition has a lower number, that means they have more traffic than you. And if they have a higher number, that means they have less. So what I've done here is just typed in Nike, for example. And so Nike's rank is 465. So they are the 465th highest ranking website on the internet for traffic. Now, if we compare that to someone like Facebook, we'll find out that Facebook has a lower ranking because Facebook gets more traffic. So you can see here Facebook showing as number 7. And if we put in some other top websites, we can see where they rank. So no surprise, Google is ranked number 1. To show you an example of how this would work, let's assume that we run a renovation business in New York City. And so if we just conduct a search within Google, taking a look at maybe some of the competition, let's assume that just for purposes of this little tutorial that our business is Prime Renovations, and our top three competitors that we're going to look at would be Manhattan Renovations, Knockout Renovation, and My Home Design Renovations. So if we look here, this is in this tutorial our business, so Prime Renovations, it's not actually ours, but just if we assume that it was, and then the 3 competitors, Knockout Renovation, Manhattan Renovations, and My Home Design and Remodeling. And so what we would do is we would take, we'd probably start with our own website and see where we rank. So we'll take that into Alexa, site info, and we'll see here that we actually have no result. So that's bad. That means we're not even ranking high enough to be given a ranking. So that means we have very low traffic. Now let's compare that to our competition and see how they rank. So you can see here that myhomesus.com it is ranking 925,613th on the internet. And then if we compare that to the other two competitors, we'll get a sense for who of our competitive set is getting the most traffic. Again, ManhattanRenovations.com not ranking at all, so they're probably being about the same traffic level as we are. And then we have Knockout Renovation ranking 2,184,159. So if we take a look at this information, what Alexa is telling us is that myhomeus.com is by far getting a lot more traffic than what we are. And second out of our competitive set is Knockout Renovation, but they're a fair bit behind My Home US. And then Manhattan Renovation is about the same boat we are. What we typically see is that someone who has no ranking generally gets between under 500 visits per month, and a lot of times it's under 300. Someone in the 2 million mark might be generating somewhere around 10,000, slightly more than that, slightly more would be that typical range. And then someone under 1 million probably generating over 20. So that just gives you a ballpark, but the amount doesn't really matter. More what's important is who's generating the most traffic and the magnitude in terms of their ranking compared to yours. If it's significantly higher, that means they're getting significantly more traffic. And why that's important is because, like we said at the start of the episode, in today's market, whoever dominates online usually wins offline. Also, 97% of purchase decisions generally start first with an internet search for information or to answer questions the buyer has. If your website is not found on Google, chances are the prospective buyer will end up buying from another company they do find online. So getting this type of benchmark information and understanding where you land is very important. Now, if you need help being able to understand exactly what kind of information you can take from here to get an exact estimate on traffic, that's somewhere where ProfitWorks can help. Because we have multiple clients that have a bunch of different rankings, we have a better idea of what rankings equal what amount of traffic, and we can pull a report to give you a sense for how you're comparing versus your competition. But what I would challenge you to do is take 5 minutes today and do this exact exercise for your own business. So go to Google and type in whatever product or service you offer and find out who your competition is. Or if you already know who your top 5 competitors are, you don't even need to do that step. You can go right here to Alexa and put in your website versus your competition and see where each one ranks in terms of their Alexa ranking to get a sense for who has the most traffic, who has the least, and how much of a disparity there is between the different businesses. If you're losing, it means you're losing out on sales and market share and have work to do to improve your online presence. If you're winning, it means you are winning more sales and gaining market share, and you should look to keep doing what you're doing or even improve what you're doing to maintain your leadership position online. Again, I challenge you to take the 2 minutes and 29 seconds it takes to check this information and see where you rank compared to your competitors. In this episode of ProfitWorks TV, the YouTube TV show for small business owners of privately owned family-run businesses with revenue ranging from $1 to $25 million. This episode was brought to you by ProfitWorks SEO Services. Be sure to leave a comment below with how easy you found it to look up the information for your particular business and your competitors and see how your traffic compares to your competitive set. Feel free as well to leave any questions you have in the comments section below. ProfitWorks. Become the leader in your market.